This is the CS50 Fair. Hello, Internet. Thanks so much for tuning in to this epic display of CS50 students' final projects here in Northwest Science, one of the larger buildings on campus. And as you can see here behind me, we have hundreds of students and hundreds of attendees enjoying popcorn and candy and snacks, as well as, most importantly, hundreds of final projects. And the Harvard Band. How long has that been planned for? Well, we are indeed live, so you are discovering the Harvard Band just as I am, but we hope you'll continue to tune in for the next few hours. We're here till 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time, so more from the CS50 Fair, and if we're lucky, more from the Harvard Band. This is CS50.
Hi CS50, this is Keenan coming to you from the fair. I'm here with two awesome students here, Dipti and Marcy. How are you guys enjoying the fair so far?
It's great, it's a lot of fun. It's really cool, it's really unique.
Awesome. Well, I saw your project earlier. Do you want to go and tell us a little bit about what you did? You have Shuttle Girls is the title of the project?
Yeah, so Shuttle Girls basically addresses like the hardest question on campus, which is if you're getting from place to place, is it worth waiting for the shuttle or should you just walk? So you can put in your current location. So let's say we're in Adams and we're trying to get to the quad. So we'll go to Courier. And then you hit go. And it'll give back the walking time, the time to bike, and the total shuttle time. So that includes walking to the stop, waiting for the shuttle, and then walking from the drop-off stop to where you're trying to get. And then based on a radio button you hit over here, it'll give you a recommendation. So it compares the walking time and the shuttle time, and here you can see that walking is clearly faster.
Nice, nice. So, I mean, from this it just looks like it's basically always better to have a bike.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's the lesson you can learn from Shuttle Girls.
Nice. Do you two have bikes now after you made this project?
I do have a bike, yes.
Nice. Makes sense. Awesome. So, well, just I like the project. What do you guys think of CS50 as a whole? How was the class?
I think it's really exciting, and it's really cool that this is like one of the few places you can take a class like this where people get so excited about and learn so much.
Yeah. I remember after we finished our project, we went back to PSET 1 and we were like, this was only 30 lines of code, and we just did this, made this whole thing from scratch, so it was really cool.
Awesome. That's great to hear. All right. Well, thanks for coming over here, guys, and enjoy the rest of the fair.
Thanks.
Awesome.
Hi, I'm Allison live from the CS50 Fair, and I'm here with
Karishma Shah and Meedy Kim.
And you guys are both freshmen, I see?
We're both.
Where are you living?
I live in Thayer.
Woo! I was on Thayer too.
I live in Weld.
Well, awesome, awesome. So, why don't you tell me a little bit about what your project does?
So, our project is a social media website where users can recreate their life in a storyline, as we call it. So each album is like a chapter, and you can add photos, statuses, and also music, because I feel like music is a big part of how you're feeling at a time. So other users, when they look you up, they can re-experience your life.
Huh.
Yeah.
So kind of like scrapbooking, but digitally.
Yeah, pretty much.
Gotcha. So are you guys, is that kind of how this came about? Do you really want, do you feel there was a void? How did you come up with the idea?
Well, we both actually did FAP together, and music was a big part of our lives. And just whenever we go to events or anything, there's always music or song running in our background. And when you want to share something with other people, it's always great to have them feeling like you felt in that moment. So that's the goal of the project. So.
Awesome. So why don't you take us through a quick view of your project here?
Sure.
Oh, wow, that looks beautiful.
Thank you. So it brings you up to the news feed, which is basically the latest photos any user has uploaded. Yeah.
Actually, lots of RTFs.
Lots of RTFs. And,
look at that.
and then, so if you click on your home button, it brings you to your own storyline.
Okay.
And so if you look on the right, you have each individual chapter of your life. So you can go, if you click on this, it'll start playing music. It's kind of hard to hear, but it's there.
I can definitely hear that.
And then you just keep scrolling through. Scroll through. Yeah.
Aw, adorable.
There's CS50. And then you can also search for other users in here. Sorry.
No worries, go for it.
then you can view their storyline.
Oh, that's exciting. So, what has been your guys' favorite part about CS50?
I think the best part has definitely been implementing what we learned into our project. So that's been exciting for me personally.
I think same here too. The hackathon was a lot of fun, but I feel like this project, like seeing it actually work is such a great feeling.
It's the feeling of satisfaction is like pretty hard to beat. What was the most difficult part for this project for you guys?
I think definitely, as far as implementation goes, it was the uploading of the photos and the music, which were both integral parts of the project. So that took a long time, but it finally works. So it's good. It's working out.
Gotcha. And I see right now it's on the appliance. So do you guys have any plans to put it online, or is it just for you right now?
It's actually online right now. If you actually go to pickair.com, it shows up. The only thing is that we haven't really broadcast it a lot because we're still working on hiding the URL so like people can't hack in and stuff. So once that's fixed.
Gotcha. Well, I look forward to seeing it online. You'll have to let us all know when it's ready for use. Thank you guys so much. Enjoy the rest of the fair.
Hi again, CS50. Got two more students here with another cool project. So can you two just introduce yourself quickly?
Sure. I'm Katie Whetstone. I'm a junior in Elliott House, concentrating in chemistry.
Hi, I'm Lucy. I'm also a junior in Elliott House, concentrating in psychology. So neither of us had any experience with CS.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Same with 70% of other students as they keep repeating that stat. Cool. So can you tell me a bit about your project? What's it called?
Sure. So our project is called Veritas. So like Veritas with a K at the end. And basically anyone with a Harvard ID can log on and post any like task or errand or chore that they want to be done, along with where they are and how much they'll pay for it and a deadline for when they want it done by. So do you want to explain what you see if you go on the site?
Sure. Will you hold this for me so I can? So Keenan, do you want to log on with your Harvard ID?
Yeah, sure.
Cool.
So now everyone on the entire live stream will know my Harvard ID.
Oh, great. Well, at least they won't know your password.
Exactly. This was well coded. All right, let's go.
All right.
See how good I was one-handed.
Let's hope for the best.
It's going.
Suspense is killing
I
me.
might have gotten it wrong. We'll find out. Well, while we're waiting for this to load,
We'll tell you more
what
about
do we
what's on the
expect
site.
to see once we get in this screen?
So when you go on the site, you see a list of the tasks that other people have posted, and you can either accept one of the tasks from the homepage or submit your own task, or filter through the tasks based on location or pay. So if I'm like in Elliott, I can say I only want to look at the tasks that are in Elliott House because they're near me and convenient. So I can filter through them based on any that are in the Elliott, Kirkland, or Winthrop neighborhood. And when you submit a task, you'll say what the task is, where you are, how much you'll pay for it, the deadline. So say I go in and I accept a task that Keenan posts. So when I accept a task, I input my email, my phone number, and whether I would like to be paid with Venmo or cash. And then once I've accepted it, it will display Keenan's information so that I can contact him and we can coordinate. And then Keenan will receive an email with my contact information.
So we can show you a sample of the email since this doesn't seem to be working.
Yeah.
It might be just the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I think the internet's just a little sketchy on that.
So anyway, if I Google or if I search Veritas Gods, because we've gotten quite a few emails in the process of making the project, you can see that when your task has been accepted. And so let's say Katie accepted a task that I posted. And so you can see her name, her contact information. Let's pretend like it's not the real contact information.
Right.
And that she wants to pay by Venmo. So then she can log on to Venmo and actually pay me through that. Or I can pay her rather because she accepted my task.
Cool.
Yeah.
So people could just like make small, like little amounts of money doing random tasks on here.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, we're going to try with Katie's and see if it works.
All right, one more shot.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's
it's really fun.
Well, one thing. Right.
Yeah, so if you're interested at all, veritas.org.
Awesome. I will definitely be checking that out.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Oh,
Okay,
finally.
now we can actually just quick run through the site. I probably got my password wrong.
So, homepage, you can see tasks that other people have posted. You can see here is submit a task. So it has all of your information. And anytime you click here, it just goes back to the homepage. So say I want to do this task that Lucy posted, or I want to filter and I want to see things only in Harvard Yard. Let's say that's where I am. Submit. I see this. I can say accept. And then I would put in, let's say that's my number. And I submit it. And then it should show me Lucy's information, and she'll be sent another email with my information saying that her task was accepted.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So do you guys call yourself the Veritas Task Force?
That's a great idea.
That is
we will now.
genius. Do you go to Harvard?
No, actually, I just got hired for this.
Cool.
That's all.
Same.
But-
I don't even go here. I don't know what I'm doing here.
All right. Well, everyone's welcome at the CS50 Fair. So, anything else you wanted us to see about your project?
I think that's, I mean, you can
also see task history. So if
Yep.
I look and I see things that I have posted, I can delete things. So say I post a task and then decide I don't want it done anymore, I can get rid of it so it's no longer on the site.
You deleted Bringing Sexy back.
I did, because I did already.
Oh, okay. That
It's
makes
done.
sense. It's already brought.
It was accepted by JT.
Cool.
Great.
All right. I like the project.
Thanks so much.
Keenan?
Well, yeah. How you guys? Any parting thoughts on CS50? One word to describe CS50. What would it be?
Let's see. Rewarding.
All right. Rewarding.
Feisty.
Rewarding and feisty. I like it. All right.
Sexy back.
Well, thanks for coming to the interview.
Thanks so
This was
much.
fun.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Hi, I'm Allison, live from the 2013 CS50 Fair, and this is
And I'm Daniel Stair.
Daniel. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, Allison.
So, can you tell us a little bit about your project?
Sure. For my project, I designed an app or a mobile website called Misconnections. It's accessible at misconnections.com and open to anybody with a Facebook account. I wanted to design an app that really brings people together. And my Misconnections idea was to take basically a short text string from anybody and also a location-based post and allow people to categorize those posts into categories like food and music and events and random thoughts. So the idea is that if you're walking through Copley Square, you can kind of see or realize this history that you're not normally actually able to access. Like, there could have been a food truck fair there that day, but if you missed it by 3 hours, you wouldn't know. Via this app, you could kind of just zoom in on Copley Square and see a bunch of posts by people that you found very interesting. You could kind of select the food tag and see what trucks were good, what people ordered, and potentially even as an added function that I haven't added in yet, reply to posts, etc.
So, can you only see what your friends have posted, like through Facebook, or is it like open to everyone? Like, if I put like a message down in Copley Square, anyone who has this app can see it.
The idea is that this is a hyper-local app. So you're connecting to people not along the lines of Facebook or Twitter, where you pick people you know or famous people. The idea is that this is about people who are standing in the same place as you, and you have this connection with them, which is that you kind of overlap physically in the physical.
That's pretty exciting. That's pretty cool. So, what's been your favorite part about CS50?
My favorite part has probably been the sense of accomplishment that comes from getting these problem sets that are incredibly long, and it looks hopeless midway through, and you need to have like multiple kind of crises and like think about problems, break through problems, and encounter unexpected ones. But at the end of the day, ultimately producing a product that you didn't know you could produce, and even you didn't really have faith in yourself to do it. Like I dreamed of kind of building a website for years, but it never really came through. And suddenly in CS50, it was literally 1 week, and I had built a website that functioned and could take users, and that was really, really awesome.
Are you planning to take these skills anywhere into the future? Are you going to upkeep your website, maybe make some new ones?
Yeah, we'll absolutely see. I have a lot of ideas for misconnections.com right now. I think there's a lot of functionality that I could add, and I think it would be fun to specialize in one area, potentially the misconnections area specifically, allowing people to connect with each other, reply to each other on Facebook. And I definitely have kind of other ideas for startups or related websites. So to go somewhere with this.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for talking with us. Looks like a great project, and enjoy the rest of the fair.
Cool. Thank you.
Hi again, CS50. I'm here with Darwin from Dunster House. What?
Hi. So yeah, I'm Darwin from Dunster House, taking CS50, and I'm a sophomore right now at the college. So.
Cool. So what's the title of your project, and what's it all about?
My project is called Duel, Do You Even Lift? And it's basically a website where people can sign up and make a profile of themselves and I guess what their exercise habits are. And then they can use this website to find other people who also want to find other workout buddies. So it's kind of like a social network, I guess, for people who want to exercise.
Nice. So if I wanted to find a weightlifting buddy in like some house to go down to Dunster Gym or something, I could just go on this website and match up?
Yeah, absolutely. You just like fill in, like I like to lift, I like to work out, and others. We don't have like all the house gyms entered, but we do have another option for you. And so then like maybe someone in the area who also likes to work out will be matched up with you.
Okay, cool. Can you give us a demonstration of how this works?
Yeah, absolutely. So just log in right now. Okay, so this is our homepage. This is just our intro video. So basically what you'll do is you edit your profile and you kind of just like fill in all your information. So say I live in Dunster House, and then you save these changes, and then you can go to browse. So you kind of look through all the profiles of other people who have signed up. If there's someone who interests you, you just click the view button, and then you look at their profile more in depth. And if you really like to work out with them, you just hit the buddy up button, and they'll get an automated email from Duel's Gmail that you would like to work out. And so if you want to like view your own kind of requests, you just go to My Requests, and then there's a list of people who have sent you requests.
Nice. So this is the analog of like friend requests on Facebook. You have the same.
Pretty much. And then you just click accept. That's the same thing as accepting a friend request. So accept a body request.
Right. Nice. So then it sends you your contact information. You can meet up, something like that.
Yep, exactly.
Awesome. Well, it looks good, man. What was your thoughts on CS50 as a class? How'd you enjoy it?
It was a lot of fun. It was definitely a lot of work, a lot of late nights. But overall, I think I learned a lot, and it was really nice to kind of like bond with everyone else who was also taking the class.
All right. Well, that's what we like to hear. Thanks for coming out for the interview, and good job on the project.
Yeah, thank you.
Hello, guys. First, start with your names.
I'm Katya.
I'm Eliza.
I'm Jess.
And what kind of projects did you guys work on?
We made a music visualizer. So it's called DJ50, and we have a website where you can go to and upload a song, or you can request a song, and then that will be transferred to the DJ's laptop where he can go through a Dropbox and play that song.
Well, that's awesome. DJ50. And what's with all those lights there? What is it?
So we built a program in MATLAB to be used by the DJ, and the DJ can play any file on his computer, any audio file that's been uploaded on the website. And when he plays the song, we did some frequency analysis so that the LED lights correspond to different frequencies and light up in time with the song.
Oh, that sounds really impressive. Did you guys have experience before CS50?
We used MATLAB in physics a little bit, but nothing really like this. And then I was in the Arduino section, so that's how I got the hardware, but I didn't really know so much about it before this project.
That's awesome. And then what is your favorite thing about the final project and all of this?
It's really exciting just to try out new songs, playing them with the lights and seeing how they light up and respond to the music. And it's really rewarding to have made a product that works.
Great. And what is your favorite thing about CS50?
I learned a lot, obviously. I had no experience before, and so the learning curve was huge for me, and just experimenting with different programs was a lot of fun.
That sounds great. Thank you, guys.
Hi again, CS50. Keenan here with 2 more students to tell us about their project. Could you guys introduce yourself quick?
Hey, my name is Derek. I'm a sophomore in Kirkland.
And I'm Harry, also a sophomore in Kirkland.
Awesome, yeah. So your project, oh, we're screen turned off for a sec there. There we go. Project is Arcade 50. Good number at the end there. We like that one. So could you just run us through your project quick? Give us a little demonstration.
Sure. So we have 2 different games you can play. You can play Hangman or you can play Tic-Tac-Toe. Both of them were made in JavaScript, so they're fairly straightforward. If you want to play Hangman, it brings you to this page where you can choose a new word, which is chosen randomly out of our dictionary. Once you choose the word, it tells you exactly how many spaces there are in the word, how many letters. If you pick a letter correctly, it will fill in where the letters are in the correct spots. If you pick a letter incorrectly, it will add another body part to the man. There's a little timer on the bottom, so if you run out of time or you guess the wrong letters, you lose, and it tells you
Two-handedness. Two-handedness. That's a tough one.
That's a toughie. All right, you want to explain tic-tac-toe?
Of course. This is tic-tac-toe, 3 ways to play. We like hard computer. It's really tough. You start, computer mimics you. He's pretty good, so he'll actually try to beat you. So I suck at this game, so oh, there we go. I should have tried to block him, but that. And then he'll start, and I think he'll tie you every time. There's almost. Oh my God. And a tie, so it's pretty well coded. Which is cool, I guess.
We hope so.
That's cool. I like it. So are you guys thinking of adding any more games to this, make it a bigger arcade? Maybe add some, money to get into the arcade first time?
Never know. We originally thought of possibly doing like a card-based game like blackjack or something like that. So if we can find like a shuffling algorithm, we'll definitely try to add that.
Oh, nice. That could be cool. All right, so just general things. How'd you guys feel about CS50 as a whole? Any parting thoughts on the class?
It was definitely challenging. There were some late nights, but I think overall it was a very good experience.
Yeah, I'm very tired from all this, but it was great. So,
as long as it was worth it in the end, that's all that matters. All right, well, thanks for coming out today to interview with us, and have fun with the rest of the fair.
Awesome. Thanks for having us.
All right, thanks.
Allison, live from the 2013 CS50 Fair, and I'm here with
Chris Lim from Weld, freshman.
Awesome. And where are you from originally?
Jersey.
Jersey. Okay, so not too far.
Yeah.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about your project?
Okay, so my project is called Lead Motion Defense, in which you use your hand motions to defeat yourself and to defend yourself against evil enemies.
Awesome. So you're going to show us a quick little demo?
Yeah. So
awesome.
You hold up 2 hands to begin. And then you swipe. It's like punching to attack enemies. And then there's like a special power-up thing where you swipe downwards and it kills enemies for you.
Whoa!
And there's like a cooldown. Yep.
Very cool.
And it gets exponentially harder. And at first it was a bug, but now it's a feature.
A bug, now a feature. I like it. I feel like software companies would appreciate that. So this is obviously a very new technology for you. So what was one of the challenges with working with it?
So the lead motion controller was actually kind of buggy, and it's not perfect, but that's like all inputs. So I need to compensate for that by having some leeway in code and making sure that even if it's buggy, it still operates.
Awesome. Well, it looks like you did an amazing job. I like how there are little bow ties.
Thanks. They're
on
faster
there.
than usual.
The ones with the bow ties
Yeah.
are faster?
Yeah.
I like that. Making the girls faster. I dig it. Awesome. So what's been your favorite part about CS50?
The whole experience really, like beginning with like the first lecture and ending with a hackathon, like that was a lot of fun.
So any like favorite moments from the hackathon or from today so far?
The photo booth.
Have you checked out the slow motion camera?
Wait, can I do it too?
Yes.
Really? Okay.
The slow motion camera is for everyone.
Okay,
so
perfect.
after you finish your shift, highly recommend it. It's a lot of fun. Well, congrats on an amazing project. You've made it through CS50.
Yes.
And go show people all the awesome stuff you're doing.
Thanks a lot.
And the slow motion camera.
Yeah,
Be sure to do that. Thanks.
Thanks.
Hi, I'm Allison from the 2013 CS50 Fair, and I'm here with
Rachel Smith, Anna Zong.
Awesome. And what year are you guys?
We're both sophomores.
Awesome. So what house?
Lowell.
Lowell, very cool. My neighborhood.
Yeah.
All right. So why don't you tell me a little bit about your project?
So it's an iPhone app called Bite Time, and it's used to facilitate planning meals with friends. So you can avoid those like nasty group texts, desperate, who wants to get lunch in Lowell right now, sort of thing.
Very real problem here.
Yeah, very real. Never want to be stuck in the D hall alone. So we'll log in as Jay Gatsby to show you a little bit of how it works.
Awesome.
Anna, do you want to explain the newsfeed?
So right now you see the newsfeed, and the newsfeed displays all of your friends and your tables that you've created. So by a table, we mean that if you feel like having a meal at some time in some location, for example, tomorrow I want to have lunch at 1 p.m. in Lowell, I can just type that in and create a table. And this will be displayed. Oh, sorry, I've created 2 tables, so I'm going to delete one of them. But this is going to be displayed in all of your friends and all of your followers' news feeds. So you can explain the followers.
Okay. Yeah, so if you know your friend's username, you can follow them by clicking the friend icon. So I'm going to have Jay follow Anna. Now you see she's in his followers. And then if you go to the home screen and refresh it, all of Anna's tables will be visible in Jay's newsfeed. Oh, can't do it with the microphone in my hand. So then
There we go.
Jay can see that Anna's having dinner in Adams at 7:30, and he can say, oh, I want to join Anna. And then Anna will know that...
Technical difficulties.
Anna will know that Jay is joining her because it'll display in the table interface.
Awesome. So obviously iOS is something we haven't taught you guys. So how was learning that? What were the biggest challenges and things that you faced?
Oh, man.
Or just how was the experience in
I
general?
think, so we coded in Objective-C, and in the beginning it was a little bit difficult to get the hang of it, but once we got used to it, it was pretty fun to do. Yeah.
Awesome. That's great. And so what's been your favorite part about CS50?
I would say this project was definitely my favorite part. Me and Anna got a little bit addicted. We got a little obsessed with our app, I'm not going to lie. It's like once you start, you just can't stop.
It's like Pringles. Once you
Yes.
pop, you can't stop.
Yes, exactly.
So do you guys have any plans to make this available on the App Store for Harvard students?
We
or-
do. There's a couple things we want to work on first. We want to make it have push notifications, that kind of stuff. But once we get that figured out, we're definitely going to work on putting it on the App Store.
Awesome. Well, I look forward to seeing it on there. You'll have to let us all know.
Yeah.
Right. Great job, ladies. Thank you so much for talking with us.
Hi again. one of the great things about this fair is all the awesome projects, and we have a game here, one of the first we've seen today. So why don't you introduce yourself, and then we'll go on to your project.
Hi, my name is Mirta Stantic. I'm originally from Croatia. I'm a junior in Dunster House, and I study neuroscience, which can probably be seen from my game also.
Awesome. So what's your game called?
So the idea of this game is that it can measure the acuity in your visual peripheral field, and this can be useful for new drivers getting onto the road, kind of test and train their visual periphery, as to notice the drivers and the pedestrians in the peripheral region better and cause fewer incidents.
Okay, so show us how the game works. I see that there's some sort of jungle or forest or something.
So you click on anywhere on the screen, and you see a countdown. You're going to also see a letter flash somewhere briefly.
So it's F.
It was an F, and there was a bird that flashed somewhere around here. So if you click on where the bird was, you're given an option to also click on what the letter was. We can try getting one wrong, or you can try doing one.
I could try. All right, so there was a T, and the bird was down here.
Yeah.
All right. So the point is, like, you have to remember the letter while you're, like, going to find the bird.
Yeah, the point is that you need to be looking at the middle of the screen while noticing the change anywhere else on the screen.
So the
also.
letter always comes up in the middle. The bird can be literally
anywhere
anywhere.
else.
It could be, like, hidden in the green, which
Absolutely.
is annoying because it's green. I'm going to try one more time. Let's see what happens. 2, 1. Bird was here-ish.
You're pretty good at this.
And W. Oh, I'm glad. Well, so I can drive, right?
You can drive.
All right, that's all I really
You're
wanted.
officially allowed to drive.
That's wonderful.
By
all right.
me.
How are you at this game? Do you just kill this?
I'm pretty good at this by now.
All right. Nice.
Tested a lot.
A lot of debugging and stuff. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So here's a question for you. If you had to describe CS50 in one word, what would it be?
Badass. CS50 was badass.
All right. I love it. And this was CS50, as you can say. Cool. All right. Well, thanks for coming to the interview. Have fun the rest of the day at the fair.
Will do. Thank you.
Cool.
Hi there, I'm Zamila with CS50, and I'm here with Garrett. Garrett, why don't you tell us a bit about yourself and your project?
Hi, my name's Garrett Parrish. I'm a freshman at Harvard studying computer science and electrical engineering, and my CS50 project is an interactive music conductor that allows you to influence different effects of the music, like the tempo, the volume, add reverb or add bass or things like that.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Let's see a demo, if you don't mind.
Just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you. It'd be like heaven to touch. I wanna hold you so.
Very cool. So it seems as if you were using a bunch of different hand gestures. You're going in and out and up and down and at various speeds. You want to kind of explain like what each one's doing?
Yeah, so by changing your hand position like this, it controls the volume. By rolling your hand side to side, it either adds reverb or roll based on the direction. And and then by the velocity of your hand, it will adjust the playback of the song accordingly, and then therefore the tempo, and make it sound like you're actually conducting it.
And what were the two different modes that you switched between?
So the first mode was one that was based off of specific beat conducting. So like if you conduct 4/4, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's specifically based off of that. And the second one is if you want to make up your own conducting pattern. So you can make circles or make shapes or whatever, and it'll just respond to the speed at which you're actually conducting it. So there's two different modes that you can do for that.
So tell us a bit about how you made this. You're using a leap motion, right? So how was the process in learning how to use the leap?
The leap is a really, really awesome piece of hardware. I used Objective-C to write. It's a Mac application, and Leap has SDKs that you can download that allow you to access all the sensor information. So when you download and configure that, then you can just spend the most of your time interpreting that information, like how many fingers you have, what their positions are, how fast they're going, and then you can do things like use it to adjust the playback and things like that. But the fact that they make it open source and very easy to access the information is really awesome.
So what inspired you to make this project? Are you a musician yourself, or?
Yeah, I'm a drummer. I play jazz, and I played in orchestras and things like that. And there's always that moment when you're like listening to a song, if it's a pop song or whatever, and you always just kind of want to like make it slow down or make it really loud, but you don't want to go mix the whole thing yourself. So I thought it would just be cool to be able to just do it on the fly and improvise the playback of it.
Very cool. So I know this is just your CS50 final project. Are you thinking of developing it any more, or what do you think?
One thing I wanted to do is I wanted to make it be able to access your iTunes so that you could just click on any song in your library and then be able to just like,
that would be really cool.
Just like do whatever you want with it. But yeah, I'm probably going to continue and see if I can make it more of a formal application and things like that.
Well, very cool. I know this seems really cool. I'm going to play with it in a sec, but thank you so much for speaking with us. Yeah, congratulations on a very cool project.
Welcome back. We're here at the 2013 CS50 Fair. I'm Allison.
I'm Aleja.
All right, so Aleja, take us away. Tell us a little bit about your project.
Okay, so my project is called Shuttle Stop. Essentially what it lets you do is take a real mental break, a real stop while you're on the shuttle. So the idea was just the fact that the shuttle is like sort of an odd amount of time, 5 to 10 minutes, give or take, can't really do anything if there's no one on the shuttle you want to talk to, you're sort of ambling around, waiting, thinking about your day. This site, you essentially enter in, and you prompt with a series of questions. First, where are you right now? So let's say that we're at Maxwell Dworkin, right? And then we're trying to get home to Mather. And then we submit that. And then from there, we have a couple options. We can either listen to nothing, listen to calming music, listen to a guided meditation, or nature sounds. I'm going to pick calming music for now. Yeah.
Very different from the atmosphere around us.
So very, very laid back. If you're at the CS50 Fair and you need to calm down, this might be the app for you. And then it goes into essentially sort of a time mode. So right now, it just requests information from the shuttle services, and it's making a timer. Oh, okay, we just got there. So it's hard-coded to react in 10 seconds right here. But the implementation I have has access information from the JSON website that has shuttle times. Design a timer from there, and then have the song loop over that interval, and remind you when you get there with a very calming chime saying, "You've arrived, have a peaceful day."
Wow, that sounds great. Definitely something that Harvard students would probably appreciate and enjoy.
I would definitely use it.
Great in the mornings, or you just kind of want to nap on the shuttle.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right, so tell us how you built this. What language is it in? What were some of the challenges that you faced?
Okay, cool. So I built this thing in PHP and JavaScript mostly.
Okay.
JavaScript was covered towards the end of the term, but it's one of like the single coolest languages we've learned thus far. Very functional, very useful.
JavaScript?
Yeah, JavaScript.
So you need to meet Tommy, because as you saw, JavaScript is the best language in his opinion.
It's an incredible language. But yeah, so a very, very simple PHP controller backend. And then that sort of directs you from the intro main page to a secondary page, which has all the questions on it. From there, with each like sort of new click input, there's a new jQuery command, a new JavaScript command. Those sort of will take you to the next step. And the JavaScript is what actually calculates the time using a JSON request system.
Wow, so lots of learning for this project.
Yeah, no, it was a lot of really hands-on stuff, which is like one of the coolest parts. Very frustrating, but then you'd make like a huge improvement, like brand new step to new language, which is very sort of invigorating.
Awesome. So what would you say is like one of your favorite parts of the course?
The fact that like when you walk away from it, you have like a very tangible skill set. Like I have a very clear thing of like what I did in this course, like what I've accomplished, like in terms of the project, in terms of like personal, like what I understand about code and how computers work. Like that was a very, very satisfying feeling that I don't get from any courses all the time. So that was like a really, really cool part of it.
Awesome. So what are you looking forward to the most at the fair today?
So I'm like not surprised like someone makes an app here that would like change the world. So hopefully finding that Easter egg would be kind of cool. Aside from that, like sort of just the culture of the CS50 sort of having a really good like celebration. Everyone put in a lot of work over the past week. It's time to sort of like celebrate being done, have these really cool projects. I'm really looking forward to that.
Gotcha. And checking out the slow-mo camera, right?
Yes, that definitely too.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Aleja.
Thank you.
Great project. Congrats to you.
Thank you.
Hi there, I'm Samila, and I'm with Tommy, a former CS50 head TF and walkthrough lead. So Tommy, where are you now?
So I'm working at Quora in Mountain View, California, doing mobile engineering, so iOS app kind of stuff.
Very cool. So did you start CS50 with some programming experience?
So I had a little bit of experience. I did some stuff in high school. It's like kind of self-taught, but CS50 changed my life, obviously.
So tell us more. Tell us more about the mobile app stuff that you've done. Did you do a lot during college, or how's that transitioned into working life at Quora?
It's a long question. So so we did a little bit of iOS stuff in college. There's a couple classes in the extension school. We had one for college and iOS development. But I didn't know too much about iOS coming in. So definitely learning a lot in my first kind of few months there. But yeah, so I do on the iPhone app, making it better every day. So it's really cool that we're working on both the client and the server side of that kind of stuff.
What's the coolest project that you're doing right now, would you say?
Sure. So so I really like our text editor in the iOS app. It's super cool. It's way better than any other text editor in any other app. It's a super cool thing to use. It's really great because people want to do interesting formatting stuff.
So have you had a chance to look around at some of their projects, or you've been mainly talking to students here at the booth?
Mainly hearing about final projects here at the booth, but I do want to make my way and get my stickers and win a Wii.
Data science are the ambassadors.
How's the vibe been? I mean, CS50 has only grown in the past 5 years. How does this fair compare to all of the other ones that you've been to?
So it's amazing we have this many people here with the weather. It's just it's too bad. We don't have that kind of thing in California, so this is new to me. Not really. But it's been great. I'm really excited that there's so many people here. I love the balloons. It's very pastel. The color scheme is probably attracting a lot of people that wouldn't come up.
So a nice break from California to come back to the water.
I was really thinking I missed being freezing and frigid and wet, and so I'm really glad that I get to experience that again here at the CS50 Fair. Yeah.
What about the school environment versus work environment? Which one have you liked?
So I really like the work environment a lot better. It's just more relaxed and more stable. I used to say that problem sets were relentless was the word I used to use, just nonstop. I feel the work is just much, much nicer. And you're always at school you're taking classes you don't love, you just have to take. When you're working, you're doing only what you love all the time, which is really exciting.
Well, very cool. Thanks so much for speaking to me. What swag are you giving out today?
So we have T-shirts, we have stickers, we had notebooks that are now gone. Sorry. Yeah, lots of fun stuff.
Great. Well, thanks so much.
We are live here from the CS50 Fair with two students here who have a project that helps you find a run of whatever distance you want. So can you two introduce yourselves quick?
Hi, I'm Kate. I'm a Dunster. I'm a junior in Dunster.
The Dunster.
I'm Alana, and I'm also a junior in Dunster.
Cool. So what's the title of your guys' project?
The title of it?
Yeah, what's it called?
It's called K&A Run, or Canada Run. You can sort of choose whichever one you like.
Cool. What does it do? Show us how it works here.
All right, so say I wanted to go on a run starting from Harvard. That's a loop between 2 and 8 miles long. So I enter that, and then our website returns a list of runs that fit those criteria, and so it tells you the name of the run, where it starts, how far it is, and then also information about hills, so how much ascent and descent you'll have to deal with, as well as the map.
Gotcha. So classic flat Cambridge right here. The only max ascent is 11 feet. Hardly anything. But that's, I guess, what you get running around here. But wow, that's also a lot of accuracy on the distance there. If you don't want to go more than 4.8001, it will check for that. So that's good. That's good.
Runners are really particular with their distance.
Apparently, if you're on a tight training schedule, this is great. So where'd you guys get the maps from on this? Is that from Google Maps or Map My Run or something like that?
So all of the runs that we put in ourselves, the map is from walkjogrun.net, and that's because these maps were all provided by the Harvard College Marathon Challenge website. So these runs are all already mapped. But if you want to add a run, you could use walkjogrun, or you can also use Google Maps Engine. Either way, we can embed the file.
Cool. And then what's this? Find a group run I see here. Is that what is that for?
Yeah, so this is a supplementary website to the Harvard College Marathon Challenge. So this is a Google Calendar of all the runs that people in HCMC are posting. But this is a display of what it would be like. And if anyone in HCMC or any runner in general wants to post a run that they want to invite people to, they can fill out this form later, and it'll be emailed out, and our advisor can post it in the Google Calendar.
Nice, nice. So you guys made the calendar that basically.
Yeah, exactly.
No, okay. Is the Harvard College Marathon Challenge using this now? Is that or was that the idea?
That's
So
the end goal. Yeah, yeah.
Awesome. So you guys are going to be like MVPs of the club. Awesome. All right. So just to wrap up, what are your guys' parting thoughts on CS50? How'd you like it?
I like CS50 a lot. It was very different than anything else I've done, but it was really fun, so I'm glad I took it.
Nice. And you?
So this was my entire semester.
Starts with this was. We like that kind of phrase. All right. Well, thanks for coming to interview.
Thank you.
Just have fun with the rest of the fair. This is a nice project.
Thanks. Thank you.
Welcome to the CS50 Fair. First, let's start with your names.
I'm Ishan. I'm Justin.
Awesome. And what kind of projects did you guys work on?
So we created a project that is a forum for biomedical researchers at Harvard to post about negative results, so it's a website.
Well, that's cool. That's really cool. And what was your favorite thing about doing a final project?
It was really cool getting the site live and having it be able to everyone to see it and actually post things and just actually finishing it and seeing everything working properly was really really rewarding.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. And what was your favorite thing about CS50?
I got to say the final project was one of those milestones, which I thought was like a fantastic capstone. To be able to demonstrate what you've all the knowledge that you've accumulated throughout this semester and put it into one project that you can be very proud of. I thought this final project was probably one of the biggest most awesome things about CS50.
Did you have any experience before CS50?
None.
That's awesome. Can you guys demonstrate the project a little bit for us? So here you're searching like
so you can see that.
Negative data. Okay. And then researchers can also come and post data. Is that it? Okay.
Comments as well. And if you're interested in getting in contact with the original poster, you can additionally contact the user here.
Awesome. This looks really good. Okay, thanks, guys.
Hi, welcome back to the 2013 CS50 Fair. I'm Allison, here with
Tom Keefe and Dylan Peterson.
Awesome. So what year are you guys?
I'm a junior. I'm a freshman.
I see you're in Adams, Tom.
Oh, yeah.
Where
I'm
are
in
you
Matthews.
Matthews, awesome. So, why don't you guys tell us a little bit about your project?
So together, me and Dylan put together a website called HRDC Connect, which allows users to put together staffs to direct shows on campus. So the Harvard Radcliffe Drama Club puts on a lot of shows every year, and people often need, a lighting designer, a prop designer, costume designer. And so this is a database that hopefully will allow people to put together better shows because they can put together better teams and, have this network in place.
Awesome. So why don't you show us a little bit about how it works?
All right. So, you can register for an account, but since we already have one, we're going to log right in. It renders you to your home page where you can see my profile.
Awesome.
It's got contact information, things that you'd be willing to do in the theater, as well as some personal information that's more pertinent to actors. Then you're able to edit your profile, of course, change things.
Very nice.
So let's say I've learned to do hair and makeup, I can add that. Then the most critical part is the user search, which is for whoever's searching for what. So let's say I'm a director and I need a lighting designer for my show. I'd select that, I'd search them, and up would come up Linda Light Designer.
Look at that.
Good old Linda.
You can check out Linda's profile. So we have a
From
link
the long
here.
line of light designer families.
Let's see. Looks like she's got some neat things. She can juggle. That might be useful. And,
That's pretty cool.
Unfortunately, she's hanging Christmas lights on 2025, so I guess we can't use her in our show.
Oh, darn.
That's unfortunate. Outside of that, for actors, you're able to print your audition forms, which renders all of your information right there, as compared to hand filling it out. And anything else?
This feature is very useful because as long as I've been here, actors have had to fill it out by hand, and it's really a drag.
That's tedious.
Yeah,
We don't
and
have time for that.
It'll save a lot of time. But actually, like I keep telling people that I run into that are in the drama club, and they're always like, "Oh wow, that'll be so great."
Awesome.
So we like it because hopefully they'll start using it, and it'll be a good thing for the Harvard community.
And I see it's actually hosted online here, so this is publicly accessible.
This is live.
Oh, wow. So for all you drama kids out there, this is what you want to use. All right. So what's been your favorite part of CS50? Or a favorite moment?
I have lots of favorite moments.
Okay.
I enjoy seeing Milo Banana.
Milo? He's around here somewhere.
Yeah, they were out playing fetch earlier. I really like the support. The TFs have been really helpful. I don't really know how else I would be doing this because it's not really my forte, but the staff has been so helpful and supportive and always willing to meet. And
Warms our hearts.
What would you say?
Dylan, do you have a favorite part?
I've just really enjoyed how they took such a fun approach to something that otherwise could be very not fun.
We're very well run, well designed, and
Well, we appreciate it. We're glad you guys have had an awesome time. Congrats on a beautiful project.
thank you very much.
I really hope it makes drama here at Harvard a little bit easier on everyone.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Allison.
Thank you.
Hi, this is Allison from the 2013 CS50 Fair, and I'm here with
Noah and Teddy.
Teddy. Nice to meet you guys. So, why don't you tell us a little bit about your project here?
So our project really tries to take classical endeavor, that is the study of the classics, and apply some more modern technology and more traditionally not humanities-related resources to it. So it's mainly a translation resource for Latin students and beginning Latin students that takes out a lot of the rigor with sort of dictionary lookup and Latin text and puts it all in one nice, neat place so that you can engage with the past in a creative and in a less cumbersome way.
Gotcha. All right, so take us a little bit through your website here.
So I'll log in my account.
I see lots of testing going on.
Yes. Okay, so here is our main page of our site where you can add any content you want and you give it a title, you put your text in and you save it. And once you've saved it, you can access it at any time. And the point of this is that instead of having to go to a different tab and look up a word and then go back to your site, you can just double click any word and on the right it will show you the word. And so that this is useful when you're doing your homework, but what's also useful is when you go back to study for a test, you want to know which words you had to look up, which words should I study. So over here in the vocab section, you click this, and it shows you which words you've looked up. So if you looked up 50 words last time, you want to know those are the words I should study. It will record them all. You can look them up again, and it will tell you the definition again.
Wow. So how did you guys build this? Can you tell us a little bit about like the technology behind it?
Sure. So we used a lot of PHP connected to a SQL database to store everyone's content. And we also used AJAX requests to pass in the variables of what words you've looked up so that we can remember which words you've looked up for each individual project. And then the rest was a lot of JavaScript and CSS just to make things look pretty.
Gotcha. So can you tell us a little bit about maybe one of the challenges that you faced with this project?
Sure. So I think one of the challenges was really trying to understand what people really want and what the use of the site is, because we want our project to sort of outlive just the CS50 project and allow it to be, applied to other fields, even beyond CS50, even beyond like a math and science field. So we sort of had to figure out exactly what the best sort of option was. Originally we started where you double-clicked a word and it linked to another page, but that's annoying, and resources like that exist, and you don't want 50 pages of words and to be constantly reminded that you have to look up words because you don't have a good vocabulary. Our site doesn't judge. Our site helps you. So
This is a fair site. It will love you regardless of how many things you look up.
Yes, of course. And then if you want to talk more about technical sort of obstacles. Yeah, obstacles we had technically, we had to make sure that users could edit. Once they've created a document, they have to be able to edit it and resave it and be able to delete it. It's no use if a user, once they made one, have to add a new one or keep all of them in these long drop-down bars. So we have to make it clean, make it compact.
All right. Well, looks beautiful, guys. Just one last question for you. What has been your favorite thing about CS50?
I guess my favorite thing about CS50 has been the final project and allowing myself as a planned classics major to actually apply principles from CS50, principles outside the humanities back to the humanities, and really have this nice interworking that I can even myself use and benefit from the project. I enjoyed most of the hackathon and just the environment there, everybody working on one goal, everybody chugging away through the wee hours of the night, just getting it done and staying up all night for the next night, just making sure that you have a finished product that looks good and that you're proud of.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys very much.
Thank you so much.
Hi, welcome back. And I'm Allison here with
Alex Hassan.
Alex. And what year are you?
Sophomore.
Sophomore. What house?
Lowell House.
Lowell. Woo! Neighborhood. All right. So why don't you tell us a little bit about your project?
So my project is an interface for dealing with MRI images. And I really liked the idea of using Elite Motion to control these images with your hands as opposed to the sort of static system and how they do it now. And so with the Elite Motion controller, you can really do quite a bit with these images. You can scroll through them quickly, slowly, scale them, take notes, save the notes to your computer. So it's pretty nice. It adds a level of dynamism that really isn't present otherwise.
Much nicer on the wrist, I assume, too.
Absolutely.
Gotcha. All right, so why don't you take us through a little preview of what your project can do?
So with the images, we can scroll
Whoa.
to the side, quickly pan through them,
Ah!
zoom in, zoom out, move it around.
This is so cool.
If you want,
Every hospital's going to want one of these.
You can try taking a note here.
Wow.
Hiding it, showing it, save it,
This is pretty cool.
and erase it.
That
So,
is pretty awesome.
thank you very much.
Out of curiosity, where did you get the images from?
Anonymous. Can't
Anonymous,
tell you. But
okay.
they aren't any particular person, and I'm pretty sure, after spending 25 hours on this project, there's nothing wrong with this brain.
Pretty sure. We're pretty sure. Okay, all right. So obviously the Leap Motion is something that we didn't teach you guys. There must have been a little bit of a learning curve there. Can you tell me a little bit about how it was learning to work with it, any of the challenges that you faced?
Yeah, absolutely. So starting at the beginning of this project, I had absolutely no idea where to begin. Dealing with this new piece of hardware and getting information from it was something we didn't really deal with at all in the course. And I decided to use JavaScript, a language that we had sort of touched on one of our P-sets, and over reading the documentation for the Leap Motion and really starting to put it together, I learned more and more about what I could do, and I think eventually came up with something that's pretty useful.
Yeah, it seems very useful. Do you have any future plans for your project?
Yeah, maybe. I'd like to see what I can do, making it sort of a cleaner interaction with the hands and talking to radiologists and finding out what's useful about this, what might they want more added. But yeah, I think it definitely has a lot of potential.
So is there medicine in your future? Or?
Somewhat. I'm a biomedical engineering concentrator right now. So
Very cool, very cool. Awesome. And then one last question. What's been your favorite part about CS50?
My favorite part has been going from 0 to where I am now.
Which is quite awesome.
Which I'd like to think is something pretty impressive. I was one of the 73%, the people who didn't know anything coming in.
And now you're we could say 1%. I don't know if we want to say that. But you definitely have an awesome project. I'd be very proud.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Alrighty.
Oh, it's so cool, actually.
Hi again, Keenan here from the CS50 Fair. I got another student here to talk about their project. So can you introduce yourselves quick?
Sure, I'm Anna. I'm a sophomore in FOHO, and I'm concentrating in engineering sciences.
Awesome. So tell us about your project. What's it called? How's it work?
Okay, so my project is called Sketch the World, and it's basically meant to encourage people to really observe the world when they travel. So instead of just take pictures, really take the time and draw maybe, and then the website lets users upload their sketches so that other people can see it.
Cool. Can we see it in action?
Yeah, of course. So after you've registered, you can log in over here.
I can hold that if you want. Cool.
So after you log in, you can look at your profile, which has all the pictures that you have uploaded so far.
or you can upload a new sketch. And then all the sketches that are uploaded are in this news feed of pictures.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
and each has the title and the user that uploaded the picture and the location that the user specifies when uploading the picture. And you can also make this a bigger window.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. What's the map for?
The map has some sketches that are tagged. And
Oh, tagged. So in that location, it just like tells you where it is.
Sure,
and what's the
yeah.
sketches.
It's just a preview when, I guess when people first see the website, they can look, oh, like, there are already sketches from London, Prague,
Nice,
Budapest.
nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. And did you draw all of these so far?
Yeah, so far I'm the only user, so I
that's
did
awesome.
draw.
You need to get some more people drawn with you.
Yes.
So is the goal of this project basically like you're trying to encourage people to like draw things more, like see things with their eyes and
Yeah.
like, experience it rather than using
Yeah,
canvas.
because it's so easy to just, if you go somewhere. This summer, I was actually writing for Let's Go, which is a travel again, and I was, I saw so many people just like walk everywhere with their cameras and just continuously take pictures. So which is really, it's just cool. Photography is awesome, but you should also take time to draw.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're trying to put the camera companies out of business? Is that like side project of this? Or?
Yeah.
All right. Well, this looks really good. So I'm just gonna say, tell me about how you feel about CS50. Any parting thoughts you have? Or?
Okay, so I really enjoyed CS50. I wish, this was a really hard semester with my other hard classes, so I wish I had more time to put into it, but the time that I did put into it, I really enjoyed, and I hope to learn more.
Awesome, that's great.
And I had a great TF.
Oh, who was that TF? All right. You want to give it this was CS50 on 3?
Yeah.
All right, let's go. 3, 2, 1. This was CS50. All right, thanks for coming.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Jordan Joswiak, and I'm here with...
Analia Ernst. I'm a freshman in Canada.
And can you tell me a little bit about your final project?
So my final project is a Windows 8 application for like a calendar. I originally made it because I didn't really like the native application that comes with Windows 8, so this is going to be kind of my jumping off point for making a better calendar, as it were.
Cool. And so what sort of design considerations did you have going in?
Well, I wanted to make something that looked Windows 80, so it's got a nice like flat design, kind of like Windows 8. It can infinitely draw the date into the future and the past, as far as I know, although I haven't clicked the forward button enough to really test that literally, I suppose. But it's got a pretty user-friendly interface, I think. So if you want to like navigate to the next date, you just click either the forward key or the back key, or you can click days outside of the month, which will also take you to the next month. If you want to navigate back to the current date, you can just right-click on the screen and click Go to Today. Then to create a new event, you've got a couple options. You can either click on the date you want to create an event on, or which will seed it with the date that you clicked, or you can right-click on the screen and click Create New, which will seed it with the current date and time. And then you can go ahead and write an event name, like this. Event description is CS50, and then the event location, which is going to be CS50 Fair. And we'll just leave the time as it is. Save it, and then it'll show up on your date, and you can mouse over it to see what time it's happening to and from. If you click it again, you can update the event to change it to whatever you want. So I'm going to change the start time to, let's say, 11 a.m. So yeah, this is where it's at right now. Eventually, and then it'll save and change the start time to a different time. So yeah, that's my app where it's at now. Eventually, I'm hoping to get it a bit more functionality, possibly sync with Google, Microsoft Outlook, add support for multiple calendars, etc. So yeah, it's been a blast.
Awesome, it's really cool. And Windows 8 is still pretty new, so can you tell us a little bit about what goes into developing Windows 8 app?
So for Windows 8 app, I used Visual Studio 2013 design software. That ended up being a little bit of a struggle in of itself, because in order to use that software, you have to download Windows 8.1 in order to develop for Windows 8 apps. So I ended up using the languages, I ended up using C# as my primary language, and then XAML for markup. The thing with Windows 8 is you have to program things so that they can handle different different orientations and stuff like that. There's a lot of specific things that they want you to have in an app before you submit it to the store. Fortunately, a lot of those things are built into to the design for Visual Studio, so that made it a little bit easier. I don't think I could have handled it if I had to just like write every single thing Windows required for the app, but it was definitely interesting. I definitely learned a lot of new things while working on this.
Very cool. And my last question is, what is or was your favorite thing about CS50?
Oh, I don't even know. I definitely loved the staff and my TF. They were absolutely amazing. They did so much stuff for me. Actually, the last day of working on this project, my TF came to office hours at 3 and stayed till 7:30 the next morning. So that was pretty incredible. But I absolutely love CS. I definitely drank the Kool-Aid for the CS50 cult group because I absolutely love it, and I love programming and stuff. So it's been a really great experience, and I'm really glad I ended up taking this class.
Great, thanks for talking with me.
Yeah, definitely.
Hi, I'm a CS50 TF. What's your name?
Hi, my name is Shirley.
Cool. What year are you?
I'm a sophomore this year.
Okay, what house?
Courier House. Yeah,
Okay,
the best.
cool. Looks like you've made a website here that looks really snazzy. Tell me a
Thank
little bit
you.
more about it.
Yeah, sure. So I made a website for an on-campus organization called Team HBV at Harvard. Our organization needed to renovate their website a little. I was like, sure, I'll do that.
Cool. Okay.
So this is the homepage, and you have like a series of tabs that leads in. There's a lot of pictures of our organization and what we do. If you click on like About Us, it'll give us more information. There's even a back-end feature called Contact Us, where it'll send you an email to HPV telling us if you have any questions. There's also a photo gallery under News.
Ooh, what event was this?
Oh, this was last year. We had a HBAL Hepatitis B Awareness Week plushie workshop.
Oh, cool.
It was a huge hit. We had about like 80 people, and everyone, we had them showcase what they made with pictures. There's also news. We are recently in the news. We had a World Hepatitis B Day event this summer, and then there's more about our workshop. Yep. And then there's community outreach with a lot of different, like what we do. For example, here's more about HBAL. There's even a countdown timer. And
Okay,
only 104 more
cool.
days. Programs, initiatives. For example, Youth Leadership Conference. We have that in the spring this year. It's going to be a blast. It's going to be for high schoolers. And you can even register here online.
Wow, nice. Cool.
And finally, there's a members login. I think that's probably a really awesome part of it. This is only for like members only. You can register if you have a password that I have, and it's actually, I don't know whether I should say this. It's Team HBV forever.
Nice.
I know.
So
very
tell me a little
cheesy.
bit more about Team HPV. What exactly do they do?
Oh, so we're a public service organization. We're a collegiate chapter of a national organization called the Asian Liver Center.
Cool.
If you click About Us, it actually tells you all about it. We do a lot of awareness, raising awareness about hepatitis B in the Boston community.
Okay, I see. So are your main things like community outreach and programs and initiatives?
Yeah, I would say so. I think like community outreach and programs and initiatives, if you click on those, it gives us a lot of information about all that we do right now.
Okay, cool. What has been your favorite projects and initiatives?
I would say two really upcoming projects that we're really excited about is the Global Outreach and also the Youth Leadership Conference. This is all happening in the spring and summer of 2014.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Great. Well, thanks for chatting with me.
No
and
problem.
This has been a great CS50 project.
Thank you.
I'm Jordan Joswiak, and I'm here with
Brendan Bezorgmere.
Brendan, can you tell me a little bit about your final project, what it's called? And
It's called Joke Bubble. It's a Python script that follows your head around with a thought bubble. Sometimes your head, sometimes when there's a lot of people in the frame, it gets confused. And right now it's saying, do you want to hear a joke? Can you duck or something? I don't know. Why did the man jump out of the window? He wanted to catch a butterfly. He wanted to catch a butterfly. And then it says it's hilarious and bundles all the pictures together so that you can see your reaction to it.
that's awesome. Yeah, I love the fact that you can capture my confusion and then pure joy. So what went into making this final project?
So it implemented a library called OpenCV that does facial detection. And then I just found a big library of jokes, like extremely corny jokes, and it just randomly selects one from that. And it uses Python because I didn't want to think about pointers anymore. Yeah, that's about it.
What were some of the biggest challenges you encountered and you had to deal with?
So I probably spent more time on things like you can see than like things that actually went into the final project. I spent a lot of time trying to implement a feature where it would send email to you, but whenever I tried to open like another GUI to have someone enter their email, it would just crash. So I definitely learned that I never want to like make a final project by myself when I have the option to have many partners. So I guess that's all just part of the learning process.
Yeah, this is really cool. So then I guess my last question is, what was your favorite part of CS50?
I mean, I guess the entire class was great. But I mean, the independence of the final project in particular was like, it's one thing to be able to like do the problem sets and like follow along instructions and write your own code, but it's a whole other thing to like make a project out of yourself, and that's very rewarding.
Thanks for talking with me, Brendan. This is I'm Jordan Joswiak, and this is CS50. Hi, I'm Jordan Joswiak, and I'm here with
Patrick Leonard.
Patrick, could you tell me a little bit about your final project? It looks like you made some sort of T tracker.
Sure. So my project is the MBTA subway tracker. And what it does is it tracks in real time the location of MBTA trains on the red, orange, and blue lines. So I pull down data from the MBTA API, and then I plot individual trains using that data. So if you see here, if you click on one of the icons, you get location about where the train's heading, its physical location, and then the time and location of its next 3 stops. So this one's going to be Central Square, and it's going to be there in 0 minutes. I rounded down to make sure that you wouldn't miss the train. And then this next will be in Harvard Square in 3, and then Porter in 6. It also works on your phone browser if you have a Safari app.
Cool. And what inspired you to make this project?
I'm always running for the T, and I wanted to know whether or not it's worth it to run, or whether it's going to be like a 7-minute wait and I can walk.
Cool. And it looks like you spent a lot of time on the styling for this. So, kind of what were you thinking about when you were choosing the color scheme and like the design overall?
Sure. So I find Google Maps to be quite ugly, actually, as a base. So I just kind of played around with something like cool and unique, and then I went with kind of the opposite of what you would normally do. So I did the land darker than the water, and then just kind of built it in black, and then to kind of build up the contrast of the streets versus the public transit there.
Great. And if so, for students who haven't taken CS50 yet or are thinking about it, what's one thing you would tell them, like something to really sell them on taking the course?
You will push yourself like so much into some unquestionable territory, but it's totally worth it at the end.
Well, thanks for talking with me, Patrick. I'm Jordan Joswiak, and this is CS50.
Thank you.
So can you guys introduce yourselves?
Yeah, I'm Gal. I'm a freshman. Oh, should I do this again? I'm Gal. I'm a freshman from the class of 2017. I'm Gal. I'm a freshman, class of 2017.
I'm Raquel. I'm a junior, class of 2015.
Cool. So could you guys tell us a little bit about your project and what gave you guys the idea to like make it?
Okay, so the idea was to build an app for Google Glass for surgeons or doctors in general that will display different medical data. And eventually our main feature became displaying heart rate. So basically what we did was connect an EKG to a computer that analyzes the data. And that data is then read by the Glass appliance and displays it on Google Glass screen, which is sort of like something that appears in the corner of your vision, and you can see it while you're doing other things like taking care of a patient, an operation. Or
How did you guys get the idea for the project?
It was actually Gal's idea, but it happens to be that I was working on building an EKG in my physics class, and then I was really excited about it too. I don't know how you thought of it originally.
I don't know, it just came up as
Interested
something.
in medicine?
Yeah.
So it looks like you guys have it all set up. Could you give us a little bit of a demo?
Yeah, sure.
Gal's connected to our EKG, which is right here. Our EKG is connected to a sort of breakout device, which allows us to manipulate the analog data that the EKG will give us on our own without having to use any specific programs.
Okay, and then basically we run the script that reads the EKG data and analyzes it to get the heart rate, which is then written to basically to a CSV file, which is a basic text file. We then run the Glass appliance, at which point the newest data should be inserted into Google Glass.
Now it says heart rate 366, which is the latest thing that we read.
Yeah, the latest value that was read from the EKG, and it basically displays that, and the script runs and continuously updates that value.
Obviously his heart rate isn't 366, but he's also moving his arms, which
Yeah,
is
all the noise here sort of skews the data, but basically that's what it does.
Cool. So what kind of tools did you guys have to use to build this?
Well, I guess the back end was the MATLAB code that analyzes the EKG data, which Raquel, I guess, can elaborate on.
Yeah, we needed some hardware, like an actual EKG, a breakout device. We tried using an Arduino device. We ended up just being able to run everything using just MATLAB to get our audio input from our voltage, and then output it to something that our Glass service could use. On the Glass side.
And on the Glass side, I guess, well, the code basically reads that CSV file, the latest value, and just with PHP or HTML code displays that latest value. You can actually see it on here. This is like the template, and you can just read this data, and this is where it shows the latest value.
Cool. So why Google Glass? Why not, a mobile app or a website or something else?
Because I guess the basic idea was to have it used by doctors, so they're not going to be taking out their smartphone while they're doing surgery and looking at the data, and the Glass's screen allows you to watch the data while you're doing other things.
Also, it's been really cool. Glass isn't out yet, so to be able to build an app for something that's still in beta has been really fun. It's also been kind of challenging though, because in the middle of our project, they actually came out with their sort of 2.0 version of their development kit, which has a lot more things that we could use, but also made it a lot more complicated because not everyone knows how to use it yet, especially us. So it's very much still in beta. But
it's part of the development process. So what is life after 50? Are you guys hoping to take this project further? What are the plans?
We'll see. I actually just got approached by a person from the engineering school who's working on a similar project, and he gave me his card, so we'll see.
What about you guys? Are you guys thinking about taking more CS classes, or what's the plan?
I'll probably take more CS classes, but I don't know if for a concentration or just for interest.
I don't know if I'll be able to take any more CS classes with the rest of the things I need to take to graduate, but I'm going to the We Code conference sponsored by the Harvard Women in Computer Science in February, so
cool.
Hopefully stay involved.
Cool. Any other last words? How was your CS50 experience in general?
Positive, I guess.
Overall positive. We learned a lot.
Awesome. Well, great. Thank you for showing us your project.
Thank you.
Hi, Dean Lambert. It's so nice to have you here with us at CS50.
It's wonderful to be at the fair.
Cool. What are your thoughts about the CS50 Fair so far?
My main impression is it's an amazing chance to bring students together and see what happens. Look at some 600-odd apps being demonstrated here that didn't exist before because of one entry-level course. Amazing.
Of course, of course. How are the extension students doing? You're the dean of the division for extension students?
I'm the dean of continuing ed and the Harvard Extension School. So CS50 is also a distance course from us, and we had about 150 students this fall. One of my interesting observations here is it takes 2 or 3 times as long in hours per week for the extension students to do this course as the Harvard students because they've been out of school for 15 years.
Oh, of course, of course. Have you met with any one of them?
I have. I've met with several of them out here, and they've showed me their apps, and
Awesome.
they're participating in I don't know quite what to call this except CS50. It's a phenomenon in and of itself. Did you see the mail-in clicker?
No, not yet, but I'll have to check it out.
Okay, folks, there's a mail-in clicker out there that should be online soon. It's just like cow clicker or cookie clicker. You click mail-ins and count.
That's awesome. What do they think about CS50?
The distance students?
Yes.
I think most of them think it's an amazing chance to catch up on what they missed, particularly if they went to school 15, 20, 25 years ago.
Uh-huh.
This sort of course didn't exist, and this sort of programming didn't exist, and the web didn't exist. So the fact they can come in, learn computer science, learn how to program, and build an application that works on the web is extraordinary.
That's awesome. That's great to hear. Thank you so much, Dean Lambert, and it was great having you at CS50 Fair.
Thank you. Have fun.
Hi, RJ. So good to have you here at CS50 Fair. Tell me a little bit about your great project.
Great, thank you very much, Red. So the project I want to present today is called Poetwig, and it's a website that accesses this Twitter streaming API and looks for tweets that happen to be accidentally written in iambic tetrameter. So it's tweets of 8 syllables written in a rhythm of unstressed and stressed syllables, and that happen to rhyme with each other, and then it presents them as poetry to the users. So if you look at the website here, like the current poem it just found was written by a bunch of different people. If you click on here, you can like see links to all the Twitter usernames. It's like people who have nothing to do with each other, just happen to write tweets that like rhyme with each other. The best things in life just happen. Hello, I'm a legal alien. Beyonce has a nice body. Hello, I'm home. Did you miss me? So yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty poetic. I think it's pretty interesting. The history
That's
function.
really lolsy. I like it.
Thank you. Yeah. So the history function that lets you look at some of the other poems available. This one's a bit vulgar, so I'm not going to say it out loud. But if you say it out loud back home, I think it's actually pretty funny.
Awesome. Cool. What's the back end part of this?
So the back end part of this, it's written in PHP mostly.
Okay.
And I used a dictionary by the Carnegie Mellon University, which creates like a pronunciation for each English word.
Great.
And I used a few like rules of thumb about the English language. Like, so in the English language, every vowel and consonant combine to create a syllable. So if you count like the number of vowels in a word, it gives you a rough idea of how many syllables there are in a word. And if you link like the last consonant sound, the last vowel sound of the word, you create the last syllable of a word. Yeah, I'm an English major, so I want to do something that...
That's really rare, having an English major in CS50.
Really? Not that rare.
Yeah, okay. How do you feel about CS50 so far?
I actually really
As an English major.
Yeah. I actually really liked it. I liked it a lot more than I thought I would.
Awesome.
I'm thinking of doing a CS secondary, actually.
No way. That's pretty awesome.
Thank you, Rick.
English and CS. That's a powerful combination. Just like this project shows.
Thank you.
So thank you so much for being here with us at CS50.
Great. Thank you
Say
very
hi
much.
to the camera.
Bye.
Hi, I'm Jordan Joswiak, and I'm here with...
Lindsay?
And Lindsay, can you tell me a little bit about your final project?
Sure. I've made a Chrome extension that could be described as a Google Translate for recipes. It's for basically people who don't have a scale but want to work with recipes on the internet that have grams and milliliters and everything, and all we have are like cups and tablespoons and stuff. So it works on any web page. You're going to go to your recipe, and we've got grams and milliliters on here. You click the icon and confirm that you want to dematrify the page. And it will replace, based on the ingredient, flour, sugar, baking soda, whatever, it's going to convert to cups and tablespoons right on the page, your recipe.
Very cool. I love the fact that you brought in some props with you. That's very cute. So how did you do this conversion, and also what goes into making a Chrome extension in the first place?
Sure. Well, a Chrome extension is, and Google Chrome API documentation is awesome, so you just go and figure it out from there. But it's a JSON object, so it's like a JavaScript object that serves as like a table of contents for all of your other documents, your scripts that you want to run on the page. And you have certain scripts that run with the browser page and then ones that run on the browser themselves. Anyway, they end up interacting, and then there's the main JavaScript document or script that's running to do the conversions. It's using regular expressions to detect and parse out these formats or these, recipe patterns of number, grams, flour, whatever. And then you do your math and you return it to the page, and there you have it.
Cool. I think maybe I'll use this next time I'm cooking. So my last question is, what goals do you have for continuing this project, or what features do you want to add, and where do you think it's going to go in the future?
I would love for people to use it because I know I wanted it. When I made it because I wanted it. So I have a website, demystify.com, and you can request to download there. And with feedback, I want to make it as user-friendly as possible. And I also want to make it more dynamic, using databases rather than static objects to find my conversions. There's a lot I could do with this. I've had a lot of requests today. It's been very useful, a lot of feedback and requests. So in terms of what I can do better. So I will do those.
Great. Thanks for talking with me, Lindsay. I'm Jordan Joswiak, and this is CS50.
Hi, everyone. Hi. Use your microphone.
Okay, hi.
Hi, what's your name?
I'm Emily Wing.
Cool. Okay, what year are you?
I'm a freshman.
Oh, awesome. Cool. What dorm?
Canada.
Oh, ooh, okay. But Canada's a nice dorm. I've been there for a dorm crew, so yeah, it's all good. Tell me a little bit about your project.
Cool. It's like a user-populated map, so you can look at locations that are nearby to you. And users can upload their location, a name, and a description so that you can see what other people have found interesting near you.
Okay,
yeah.
Cool. So what are some cool destinations to go to? I've been thinking of traveling.
So right now we have mostly locations uploaded in Boston, and a lot of them are pretty generic.
Nice. Okay.
There's like Fenway Park.
Oh, nice.
The Boston Harbor, and then we've also had some friends at it, so Well 44, the only girl needs a boyfriend to snuggle with.
Cool. What else can you do?
So that's pretty much it. When you add your location and description, it'll automatically update the map so that when other people visit, everyone else can see what you added.
Okay, cool. What's your favorite destination here?
Right now, we added the CS50 Fair.
No way! That's cool.
Let me figure out a way
That's cool.
Let's see.
Ooh,
Where
the
is
Esplanade
it?
is really awesome.
The Harvard Football Stadium is not actually there, but somebody added it. Let's see. I think we're here, right?
Yes, maybe.
It's totally here. We just added it. Do not worry. Where is Northwest Labs?
Or maybe we can add it.
Oh, here it is. Oh, someone added it right on top of us. Here.
Oh, wow. They're a lot. Cool.
CS50
Nice.
Fair.
Awesome. Great. Cool. Thanks for sharing your project with
thank
us.
you for having me.
And I guess we're live at CS50 Fair. Say hi to the camera.
Hello.
So we are here with Charlotte and Xavier, who are going to tell us a little bit about their project called Spur. Do you guys want to tell us a little bit about yourselves first, like where you're from, where you live, where you're thinking about concentrating in?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, my name is Xavier. I'm from China. I'm doing my master right now at the extension school.
Hi, I'm Charlotte. I'm a freshman in Weld. I'm from Philadelphia, and right now I'm studying CS and Arabic.
Cool. So can you tell us a little bit about Spur and how you got the idea?
Yeah, so Spur is a website. It comes from the phrase spur of the moment, and it's for, in the moment, instant meetups with friends. And we actually got the idea from it was sort of tedious trying to text each other meeting up to talk about a group project, and so we thought it'd be easy if we could make an efficient website to handle meetups like that.
Cool. So could you give us a little walkthrough about how it works?
Yep. So this is the welcome page, and so from here you can sign up, or you can also log in. Here you'll see current posts, my profile, and where I currently am at the Northwest Labs at the CS50 Fair. And under current posts, you'll see all the most recent posts that people have posted. If you see something that you want to join, you can either press I want to join to send an automatic notification, or you can send a personal message. You can also search by interest. So for example, if you want to see a movie, you can search for other people who are looking to watch a movie right now, and you can join them. Or you can search by location. Do you want to talk about users?
Sure. So you can go to the user and search for wherever you know. Like, I have a friend called Kazi. Then I can search for her. Then I can follow her right here. So whenever she make a post, I can see it if she make it public. So if I want to join, then I could just, as Channing say, then she will receive an email immediately right from me. So that's public.
And so the other thing, so if you make it public, then everyone who follows you will see it. You can also make it specific to a certain group. So for example, while I'm making my post, I'll post what I'm doing, when I'm doing it, and where I'm doing it. And then if I can also choose, for example, a specific group of people. So if I want to play a tennis game, I'll say tennis tomorrow in Cambridge, and then I'll post it to my tennis friends. So they're the ones who will message me. And then I would post it to close friends. So now my close friends will be able to see that, and they're the ones who will message me about it. So this is sort of a combination of social networking and meeting up. So.
Awesome. So what kinds of technologies did you guys have to use to make this? And
so it's written mostly in PHP and Java, and then the design was CSS and HTML, so JavaScript, yeah.
Cool. What was the most challenging part about this project?
I feel like the most challenging part is to know who should do what. I would say just the work distribution, when you are working together. Because you don't want two people work on the same problem at the same time, but sometimes it happens, so you need to kind of, go forward and back, to kind of manage that. Yeah.
How about your favorite part about CS50 so far, or I guess this semester?
Well, we might have different ones. I think my favorite part so far has been the hackathon. We had a great time. It was my first all-nighter in college, so we had a great time.
Wow, first all-nighter.
Playing around, but also working on the project. That was a blast. The next day was not so much fun, but it was a lot of fun. What about you, Xavier?
I like it. I also like the hackathon a lot, and I have a lot of food that night. And we have a lot of fun that night. We play game and we chat, and it's a lot of fun.
That's awesome. Cool. Well, thank you so much for telling us about your project. Hope you guys enjoyed
Thanks for using it. You should sign up for Spur.
We're here with Josh and Henry. Henry, who is on the phone with his mom at the moment. Henry, wave to your mom.
No, she's I'll wave.
Apparently, his mom needs to update her browser. So, technology troubles.
Gotta love it.
But we're about to hear about their cool project called Fresh Start. So, you guys want to introduce yourselves first?
Yeah, so I'm Josh.
I'm Henry.
Tell us about your concentration.
Oh, gotcha. So I study environmental engineering here.
I'm studying statistics. We're both juniors in Dunster.
They're actually roommates.
Yeah.
Which is super cute. So you want to tell us a little bit about your project?
Yeah, I'd love to. So within the advising community here at Harvard, especially more specifically the freshman advising community, it's been a big issue on exactly how to help freshmen pick their first year classes. So Henry and I were talking one day at dinner. I was like, you know what? That's our CS50 project. And so, and this was actually this whole idea was brought to me by Brooks Lambert Sluter, who helps run the Pathing program, peer advising fellows program here on Harvard, which is a bunch of freshmen advising. So after talking with him, Henry and I sat down and thought, okay, let's tackle it. So with this Fresh Start website, designed it to be very simple, very user-friendly, with keeping freshmen in mind. So once again, we didn't want too much flashy stuff. We will be updating the website a little bit, maybe add a couple of bells and whistles, but nothing too complex. So let's go ahead and get started. So once they go after, so we've already created a registered account, so we're going to go ahead and just log in. Let's see, CS50 Fair, password, and then go ahead and log in. And so once you log in, you get straight to the questionnaire. And what this questionnaire does is based on the preferences and your inputs, it weights different classes based on the criteria that you've included. And Henry, you want to give a little bit of info about the weighting algorithm?
Sure. So for each of these common interests, Josh is going to put in some value. So first, let's see, concentrations. He's going to put. We're definitely most interested in computer science. So for concentration interest, it's going to go through the courses, and for each concentration, there's a set of courses that is going to receive some points based on what concentration you chose. And then for interest, here he's going to put in these interests, and then it's going to scroll through the courses and find classes that have these keywords in their titles. So whatever he's interested in is going to get more points. For this one, it's going to look at the workload in the Q guide, and then the closer the workload is to what he has put for his preferred workload, it's going to assign more points for that. Ideal class size works about the same way, and ideal difficulty works about the same way. Now he's going to submit that, and it's going to go through each course in the CS with the Q guide basically, and assign point values, and then we should return a table of 25 top courses that match with you the best.
Yeah, so could you guys talk a little bit about like what kinds of technologies you used and what you learned from doing this?
Right. So a big help was MySQL, like a MySQL table. That was phenomenal. A lot of PHP, of course HTML to help produce the actual visual display. Anything else you want to mention?
Yeah, we figured out how to write SQL queries that queried like individual user-specific tables, something that we didn't learn in class. So that's good.
And so now if we go back to the website, we see that, all right, so we have these 25 matches. So this is after crawling through all the courses offered at Harvard. Oh, one other thing. So within that, we also include a component that only provides recent classes. So because come to find out, there are a lot of classes, numerous amount of classes, insane. And so we wanted to cap that. And so if we look through the website, we have the 25. We cap it at 25. So these are the 25 classes that match the criteria that we put in. So for a freshman, and so right here looking at percent matches is just another way, just a visual way of seeing how compatible that class is for you. So now, one thing we would say is that for a freshman, unless they're like extremely gifted at math 229X might not be the best class, but because it has introduction in the title, that automatically gives it a higher weight. But so that's one thing. Another thing we'll work on in the future. So let's say coming in, we're like, okay, Math 1A sounds great, based on our preferences. Scrolling through, all right, ES50. Okay, so let's say we want Algebra 2. All right, so just clicking a bunch of random courses. So after this search, we can go ahead and save these courses. So, and this is anytime we log in, we will always have access to the courses that we've saved right here, right now. So every time you log in, you can submit another. We could submit another form. From here, you can see the most recent results. This should look a little bit familiar because these are the 25 classes that we just put in based on the criteria. But like I said before, you can also see the saved results. So these will always always be here anytime because these are linked to that specific user. So, and if we don't want, so let's say we've talked with let's say the freshmen has talked with their PAP or their freshman advisor or their proctor, and they realize, all right, maybe CS51 isn't the best option for it. They can go ahead and delete that from their saved data. So now they have a good idea of where to begin their Harvard adventure. So in other words, a fresh start.
Cool, awesome. So what has been the most difficult part about making this project?
Probably getting every concentration's necessary course requirements, introductory course requirements, putting those as individual SQL queries so that depending on which concentration you chose, it'll assign points to just those classes. And it searches through course numbers and titles and finds names that match. So that took a long time.
And then another thing that was actually pretty hard is just logistics, because we also wanted to include an additional component, something along the lines of like Amazon preferences, where it runs through data that would be provided by the registrar's office and says, all right, people who concentrated in this also took this their freshman year. And so, but getting that hands on that data was a little, actually, it's difficult because it hasn't happened yet, the registrar's office, and for good reason, because it is a logistics thing, and they want to make sure that the data is in proper hands, because a lot of the information, it can be pretty sensitive. So we don't need anything like names or anything that pins a student specifically, but we understand why they're a little bit hesitant, so it has taken a little bit longer than anticipated, but this is definitely a beginning part, a nice start to something that could potentially grow. So it's a lot of fun. It was so much fun.
So are you guys hoping to launch this to freshmen through the FDO or something like that?
That would be ideal. That would be a great end goal, because this was, and so I am a PATH myself, so I deal directly with freshmen, and having an additional resources. There are so many resources available on campus to help freshmen pick their classes, but this would be just another nice little cherry on top, just to help them get underway. So that would be cool if we could. Right now it's hosted on the lovely CS50 appliance, but we will definitely find it a home elsewhere, and share it with the world.
Great. So any closing thoughts about CS50 in general?
Good class.
No, definitely coming into CS50. I didn't consider myself a computer programmer, but come to find out, I got potential, so it's been a lot of fun. So I definitely recommend CS50 to anybody who has an interest, because they really do cater to your experience coming into the class. Like me, I had zero computer programming skills. I knew what Java was, so that was about it. But they really, really do, and especially in the TFs, amazing. TFs, wonderful component to this course. So
great.
This was CS50.
Thank you so much.
Anytime. Thanks, Karen.
This is a CS50 Fair. We're here with Carolina. Carolina, what did you do for your final project?
For my final project, I made a website called Carolina Sophia Music. And here you can see the homepage. Part of it is a portfolio site. The other part is there's a feature called Music Match, where Harvard musicians can sign up and find collaborators. So here you go to the audio part of my site. There are embedded SoundCloud tracks of me performing. You can hear singing some songs in other languages with translations provided on the right, as well as a few songs that I've written. There are also videos from YouTube of performances. And then when you click here, you get to the Music Match feature. So when you register for an account, you fill out user information. You pick your class year, your genre. So let's say you are a jazz pianist and you are looking for a singer, and you want to collaborate in songwriting. When you click register, you are taken to an account. I'll just log in with mine here. A page that displays all the other users in the database. So if you find someone that you're interested in working with, let's say you like this pop singer who wants a sound engineer, you can click email, and an email will be sent from the website to that user with your information. That way you can get in contact and collaborate with them. And that way you can connect with people at Harvard that you want to make music with.
That sounds great. It's really awesome. I mean, so besides listening to music, you can also like connect and use it as a social media for music and things like that.
It was a way to share my music and also to have other people create music together.
That sounds so cool. And Carolina, did you have any previous experience in computer science before CS?
I had no experience. This was my first time ever programming.
Well, that's awesome. And what is your favorite thing about the final project?
My favorite thing was that there was no parameters, that we really could explore whatever we wanted to. And I'd always wanted to do something with my music because I really am passionate about it. And this enabled me to do something I was interested in and challenge myself to another level.
That sounds great. And what's your favorite thing about CS50?
It's hard to choose a favorite thing. I think there's a very collaborative spirit to the class. I've really made close friends in this class. And I've enjoyed it being extremely challenging but rewarding at the same time. There's nothing like getting through one of the P sets and feeling so excited that you were able to get it to work.
That's awesome, Carolina. And are you enjoying the fair so far?
Yeah, I'm having a great time. I've enjoyed speaking to some other people. Everyone's projects are really cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you so much. This is CS50 Fair.
Hi, I'm Jordan Joswiak, and I'm here with
Daniel Shar
and Daniel Nissenbaum.
And they have two different projects which are implementing the same game. Daniel, do you want to tell me a little bit about your different approaches and what your game is?
Okay, so my part of the project was making the iPad application, and Dan Nissenbaum made the Leap Motion and Mouse computer application.
So the basic premise of the game is you're a ghost in the middle of the screen. You're controlling a little ghost, like Ghost Eats Blue, and you're trying to run away from these evil boxmen, which are trying to constantly chomp down on you and eat you. And your goal is to get the highest score you can while running away, not dying.
And of course we give you some assistance by giving you power-ups like shields and score multipliers, and of course we like to hinder you with some speed-ups on the ghost part, and I mean on the boxman's part, and a score demultiplier, which lowers your score.
Yeah.
Cool. Do you want to demo it for us and maybe just talk us through what's going on a little bit?
Okay, so we'll start by going... What are you doing?
Go play with the mouse.
Oh, we'll play with the mouse? Okay. So, click play. This is the mouse gameplay. So I'm controlling him with my mouse right now, and I'm this little ghosty in the middle of the screen. Up here in the corner where my ghost is the score count with the multiplier. That's a life power-up. And this is the number of lives that I have. These guys are little boxmen, and right now I can be kind of free around them because it's the start of the game. But near the end, you know, they're going to start getting really fast, and it's going to be hard. This is a slowdown, which will slow them down just a little bit for a few seconds in case you need to jump something. There's the times half score demultiplier. This is a shield, so if you get hit, you don't lose a life. You just, you know, flicker a little bit.
The shield goes away after like 10
12
or so
seconds.
Yeah.
And so now it's starting to get hard to control.
Slow them down.
See, I got the ×2, and now up here, it shows me the ×2 multiplier, which I just lost because I died. Gonna try to keep them slowed down so I can survive here.
And if you want, you can control the game with Leap Motion controller, which we have right here.
Oh, which we'll do.
So you just move your finger around, and it tracks the ghost on the screen. Go as they go faster.
This is really cool. So, in terms of the different parts, did you work entirely independently and then just collaborate on design, or how'd you divide this up?
Yeah, so with gameplay, we basically communicated with the gameplay, the logistics of the game, how it's going to work for the user, and then we split up with the design. I designed it in JavaScript in the web-based version, and Dan did his in Objective-C on iOS.
And for example, I would make the image for the ghost and the image for the boxman, and then I would send him the images. He would use those exact same images and sizes that I would specify, and so we would have a consistent design, which you can tell from the similarity in the home screen down to every last detail of the about page.
Yeah, these are amazing projects, and I think for everyone out there, there's one other thing I don't think we mentioned about you two. What year are you two?
I'm a junior in high school.
I'm also a junior in high school, Newton South High School.
That's very impressive. And what are your goals for continuing this project?
So our future plan is to produce an iPhone application with tiltability, add some more features, make the game more dynamic and interactive, and perhaps go multiplayer with Leap Motion and submit it to them so that they can use it for their JavaScript web examples on their site. So, yeah.
And my last question is, looking back on CS50, what was the greatest experience you had?
Hackathon was the greatest thing. Pulling an all-nighter first time, it was just great. Eating all that candy, drinking 7 Sprites, It gets to you at 2 a.m., but then you kind of just break through that wall, go to IHOP, and end the day happily. It was a great experience.
Yeah, I got to agree. There's nothing like programming all night. Something, I don't know, just a programming thing a lot of programmers do, and I don't know, nothing like doing it with a bunch of other kids.
Yeah, it's a very memorable experience, and I think the candy is what got me through when I did it. Well, thanks for talking with me, Daniel and Daniel. I'm Jordan Joswiak, and this is CS50. Hi, I'm Jordan Joswiak, and I'm here with...
I'm Jeremy Watson.
And Jeremy is going to tell me a little bit about his awesome multiplayer Leap project here. Jeremy, you want to explain it?
Sure. The basic concept is it's 3D Pong using the Leap Motion controller to control your paddle. And my game both has a single player and a multiplayer portion. I think we're going to play a little multiplayer right now. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give it a go.
It's built in the Unity 3D engine, which is just kind of a common engine a lot of games are built in. Leap Motion provides some APIs for it, so it actually all kind of came together. It was, I'm not going to say easy, but it was definitely doable. A lot of work, but it was a lot of fun to put together.
Cool. Well, yeah, can we try it and then maybe explore
Absolutely.
some more technical background?
Yeah.
So press spacebar to
Go ahead
start.
And press space.
Okay,
Here we go.
Okay.
Oh,
Wow,
that
wow.
started off badly.
Oh
no.
I guess I just started playing
You're
several minutes ago,
Yeah.
so I think I've been picking up pretty quickly.
I've been playing this for weeks, but he's still beating me. That's cool.
So, can you explain a little bit like the physics that's going on here, or?
Yeah, sure. So, Unity provides a fair number of physics simulations. Like it can handle kind of some of the collision. It'll tell you if the ball's spinning. In order to make it actually spin in midair, like say you're putting top spin or back spin with a ping pong paddle or tennis racket, I had to add a little bit of a scripting there. So it detects your angular velocity, how the ball is spinning, and it adds force based on that. So you can move just like you would a ping pong racket or a tennis racket, and it would put spin on it as you'd expect. So that's that part of it. Oh, did you beat me or who won? I won. Yes.
Oh man,
I was so distracted. What else would be good to go over here?
Well, so you have a 2-player setup here. So yeah, what goes into that client-server interaction here?
It's definitely network play is pretty tough. It's how I just try to handle it is that one is the kind of master. So right now your computer is the server. It's the one that's sending all the data to my computer, and it's basically I don't know how technical you want me to get, but it uses this thing called remote procedure calls, where it sends a signal to my computer saying, I know you have this method, this function, call it now. And so it kind of does that over and over again. It updates a few things, like it updates the position of my paddle, updates the position of the ball, and other than that, it's surprisingly simple once you've looked at the final product. Getting it there was difficult, but fun also.
And I heard that you were limited in the number of Leap devices you had, so you could only test it for a little bit.
Yeah, that was interesting. I had my main, my kind of desktop computer, I had my laptop, and I was just kind of going back and forth, like, only one can use the Leap Motion, so I'd switch it real quick and see, okay, it's still working. Yes, it looks like it's good. I managed to get 10 minutes of actual testing in with my with a friend of mine who's also using the Leap controller, but that's all I got. I'm going to go home and look a little more on it now that I have 2.
Yeah, do you have any goals for the future of this game? Are you going to hopefully publish it?
I would definitely like to maybe make it a little more polished. Right now, you can kind of tell maybe the single player, I'd say, is looking pretty good. It's pretty clear, user-friendly. Multiplayer, it was definitely my second part of the project, so I spent a lot of time just getting it working. So I'd like to make it more user-friendly, a little more clear what you have to do. But I think the bones are all there, and they're ready to go.
Yeah, I think it looks great. I love that you also have the lines on the ball, so you can clearly tell which way it's spinning.
Yeah, that was definitely tricky. Is handling like I definitely missed a lot. Just like I don't know where the ball is in relation to everything else. Maybe I'll add like 3D support. That's enough.
Cool. And I guess my last question is, just reflecting on the amazingness that is CS50. What was your favorite part of the class?
You know, I think the lectures are all. Each one is like its own like TED Talk. Yeah, you go and it's great. You're learning a lot. But ultimately, it's going home and the challenge of each piece set. You know, getting your speller to work, fighting C, getting through those seg faults. That's just the fun. You know, it's all that problem solving. At no point do you feel like I'm stuck. There's nothing I can do. You have an incredible amount of resources. You know, you go to discuss. I email my TF. It's a lot of fun.
Great. Well, I'm glad you had such a good experience. Yeah, thanks for talking with me, Jeremy.
No problem. It's my pleasure. Thanks for playing my game with me.
Yeah. I'm Jordan Joswiak, and this is CS50. Hi, I'm Jordan Joswiak, and I'm here with Professor Leitner.
Yes, and I'm here with my CS50 stress ball. I squeeze the stress ball, and I feel more stress, not less stress. Why? You ask me why?
Why?
Well, because I'm scheduled to co-teach CS51 in the spring, and this is an impossible act to follow. Damn you, Malin! But anyway, it's good to know that something like half the people in this room are going to be in CS51, but this is quite an act to have to follow.
Yeah, I think after this experience, a lot of people have, they see CS in a very positive light. It's not just the hard parts of speller and seg faults, but it's something about creating their own idea in the end.
That is true. In fact, for reasons that I'm not, maybe for those reasons, enrollment in my CS1 class in the spring have jumped. Even though David forgot to mention that was an alternative class, I think I've got in preterm enrollment maybe 3 times as many people as I had last year in preterm enrollment. So it's going to be a hard semester, and but I mean, I don't want to take anything away from David. This is every year it gets more awesome. The hackathon was awesome, and he deserves all the credit in the world for pulling this off.
Yeah. Have you been able to explore some of the projects here? Have you seen any?
Yes, there was a really wonderful one of my freshman advisees. I forgot the name of his project. It was a project with another team member. Basically took Twitter feeds and Facebook feeds and also other social media and does a real-time analysis of what people are talking about according to your search terms. So if you want to look up, New England Patriots and Tom Brady, it'll just pull all that data out in real time and give you a graph of what people are saying and also show you the comments themselves. Very, very slick.
Wow.
Really, very slick. So.
Yeah, it sounds like some really great data analysis going on in the background.
Yeah. And what's your role, other than interviewing people?
Well, I guess I'm here just to...
I like interviewing an interviewer.
I want to bring out the... really let the project shine and let the people talk about their struggles and their experiences and what made this adventure at the end really worthwhile. So that's been my goal. Hopefully it's come through a little bit.
All right. Well, it's been great talking to you again. I'll see you same time, same place next year. Don't graduate. Shut up.
Yeah, graduating, but it's been great talking with you again, Professor.
You can get left back. It's okay.
Maybe I'll come back just for this. I mean, who wouldn't, right? Yeah.
This is CS50.
Fair. We are here with
Aiden Campbell.
Awesome. And what kind of project do you work on?
I made a flight simulator based on Google Earth.
Oh, that's really cool. Can you demonstrate that for us?
Sure. So I have this neat weak mode controller here. And you can use the arrow keys to sort of fly around. The plus and minus button to go up and down. 1 and 2 rotate. I'm going to change the camera mode for a second. So we're looking at a plane model instead. Gives you a little bit of better visual. And the idea is to fly through these hoops. So, I'll try to get one. They can be kind of tricky. Let's see, I missed. There we go. I got it. Maybe. Like that.
That's really awesome. And what was your favorite thing about the final project?
My favorite thing about the final project was at the hackathon, I remember actually, there was this period of 3-4 hours when I couldn't get this one thing to work at all. And then after those 4 hours, it finally worked. And it finally, I finally got, it was the hoop. I was trying to get it to rotate. and like after 4 hours, I finally figured out how to get it to move.
That is awesome, Aiden. Yeah, and did you have any previous experience in computer science before CS50?
Not really. I hadn't taken any classes or anything.
That's cool. And did you like CS50?
Yeah, I love CS50. It's really awesome.
That's great. And now for my last question, what is your favorite thing about the fair?
My favorite thing about the fair? Probably showing my game to people.
That's cool. Thank you so much, Aiden. Thanks. This is CS50 Fair.
It's closing time here at the CS50 Fair 2013. Thanks so much to everyone out there on the internet for having tuned in. Hundreds of projects walk through this hall, hundreds of boxes of candy, hundreds of boxes of popcorn, and quite a few attendees, in addition to all of the stress balls that have been thrown and taken home. All of that you've seen today will be cut together, made available online at youtube.com/CS50, as well as at cs50.harvard.edu. This has been CS50, and this has been the CS50 Fair. Good night.